Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today, we're going to talk about the famous 1975 Lincoln penny that could fetch you a fortune, up to $74,400. So, what makes these pennies so special? Let's break it down. Before we talk value, let's first understand the Lincoln penny's significance. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It's been a staple of American currency ever since. By 1975, the design had stayed relatively unchanged, featuring Lincoln's bust on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. In 1975, millions of these pennies were minted at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. But not all pennies are created equal, and that's where things get really interesting. So, what sets a valuable 1975 penny apart from the others? There are a few key factors collectors look for when determining the value of a penny: condition, mint mark, and any unique errors or rare variations. One of the biggest factors is the mint mark. Most 1975 pennies were produced in Philadelphia and Denver, with no mint mark on the Philadelphia coins and a D mint mark for Denver coins. While a typical 1975 penny in circulated condition might only be worth face value, a near-perfect uncirculated example, especially from Denver, can fetch high prices from collectors. But there's another reason why 1975 pennies can be worth a lot: errors. In the world of coin collecting, errors are like hidden gems. These are mistakes made during the minting process, and they can turn an ordinary penny into a rare and valuable piece. Some of the errors you might find in a 1975 penny include double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet errors. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. This happens when the die strikes the coin twice at slightly different angles, causing certain parts of the design to appear doubled. Another rare but valuable mistake is the off-center strike, where the image on the coin isn't properly aligned. These error coins are rare, and when combined with excellent condition, their value skyrockets. So, how much can these rare 1975 pennies actually sell for? Well, hold on to your hats. In 2023, a flawless example of a 1975 D Lincoln penny in top condition, graded MS-67 by professional graders, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $74,400. That's right, a 1-cent coin turned into over $70,000. That's a life-changing amount of money for a single penny. Of course, not all 1975 pennies will sell for that much. In fact, most in circulation are only worth a few cents. But if you happen to have a penny in near-perfect condition or one with a rare error, you could be sitting on a goldmine. So, how do you know if your 1975 penny is valuable? First, check the condition. Coins in near mint or uncirculated condition are worth more. Look for coins with sharp details, minimal wear, and no major scratches. The best way to assess the condition is by sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Next, check for any errors. Use a magnifying glass to examine the penny closely, looking for doubling, off-center strikes, or any unusual features. And finally, take note of the mint mark. A 1975 penny with a clear mint mark in perfect condition could be worth a lot more than you think. Right now, the market for rare coins is booming. Collectors are always looking for high-grade, rare coins, and 1975 Lincoln pennies are no exception. Prices fluctuate based on demand, but a top-quality error coin or a near-perfect Denver Mint penny could easily sell for thousands, if not tens of thousands, at auction. If you have a jar of old pennies lying around, now might be the time to go through them. You never know, one of those pennies could be your ticket to a massive payday. We're going deep into the world of coin collecting, specifically focusing on a coin that could be worth a lot more than you think, the 1940 D Lincoln cent. That's right. This little copper penny has recently made waves in the numismatic community with a market value going as high as $82,400. Can you believe that? For a penny. So, how did this humble penny become so valuable? Why is the D mint mark so important? And what makes certain versions of this penny worth a fortune? In this video, we're going to break it all down for you, from history to rarity, to how you can possibly spot one of these in your own collection. First, let's talk about history. The 1940 penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The wheat design on the reverse side is where these coins get their name. On the front, of course, is the iconic profile of President Lincoln. Now, in 1940, the Denver Mint, hence the D Mint mark, produced over 81 million Lincoln pennies. That's a high number, so you might be wondering, why is this penny so valuable? We'll get to that soon. But before we do, it's essential to understand that while millions were minted, not all 1940 pennies are created equal. What makes certain versions of the 1940 penny so valuable isn't just age or rarity but a combination of factors like the condition of the coin, unique minting errors, and demand in the collector's market. In fact, it's the errors or unique features that can skyrocket the value of a coin. For instance, coins with minting errors such as a doubled die, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes are in high demand because these mistakes make the coin unique. And as with most collectibles, rarity increases value. If a coin is one of only a few with an error, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. But it's not just errors that matter. The overall condition, or grade, of your penny is crucial to determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A heavily worn 1940 penny might only be worth a few cents to a few dollars. But a penny in mint state condition, meaning it's been preserved very well and has no major wear, can be worth thousands of dollars. For example, in 2023, a 1940 penny in mint state 67 plus sold for an astonishing $82,400 at auction. That's right, $82,400 for a penny. And that's not even the most extreme example. Coins in near-perfect condition, especially if they have rare errors, could be worth even more in the future as demand increases among collectors. Oh, what's the current market value for a 1940 penny? Well, it depends on a few factors. For a regular 1940 Lincoln cent in circulated condition, it could range anywhere from 15 cents to a couple of dollars. But if you have one in mint condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher, you could be looking at values between $1,000 and $10,000. And, as we mentioned earlier, if your coin has errors or is in exceptional condition, like an MS67 plus grade, you might have struck gold, or should I say, copper. To give you some perspective, most common 1940 pennies don't fetch high prices because of their abundance. But the rare, well-preserved, and error coins are what make the headlines and attract big money from serious collectors. Now, let's talk about how you can find one of these valuable pennies. First, check the mint mark. It should be a small D right below the year on the front of the coin. This indicates it was minted in Denver. Next, examine the coin closely for any mint errors. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling on the letters or numbers, repunched mint marks, or any other strange irregularities. These are key indicators that your penny might be worth more than face value. And, of course, if you think you found something special, it's always a good idea to have your coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can make all the difference when you're trying to sell a rare coin at auction. So there you have it, folks. The 1940 Lincoln penny is not just a piece of history, but it could also be your ticket to big money if you have the right one. Whether it's a mint error or a coin in pristine condition, the right penny can be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. We've got an exciting one, the 1984 Lincoln penny that could be worth as much as $62,400. That's right. This humble 1-cent coin could fetch big money if you know what to look for. Stick around, because I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this penny so special, how to spot it, and its current market value. So, let's start with a little background on the 1984 Lincoln penny. The 1984 1-cent coin features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been in circulation since 1909 and remains one of the most iconic images on U.S. currency. But what makes the 1984 penny special isn't just its design, it's the errors and variations you'll find on some of these pennies that make them worth a fortune. Specifically, we're talking about what's known as the 1984 double die obverse error. Let's break it down. A double die obverse, or DDO, happens when a coin is struck by a die that has been improperly manufactured. In simple terms, it means that the die that stamped the coin has a duplication on it. This causes certain features on the coin to appear doubled or blurry. And for the 1984 penny, the key area to look closely at the ear on a 1984 penny. If it looks normal, sorry to say, you're not holding on to a small fortune. But, if you see a clear doubling of Lincoln's ear, meaning there appears to be two earlobes, then you've struck gold, metaphorically speaking. Now, this error can be tricky to spot with the naked eye, so I highly recommend using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect your coins closely. The doubling on Lincoln's ear is the major giveaway, but be sure to check for other subtle doubling effects around Lincoln's bow tie, his beard, or the letters, "In God We Trust," at the top of the coin. Make sure to check your pocket change or any penny collections you might have, because many people don't realize they're holding a rare coin in their hands. Alright, so why exactly is this error worth so much money? Well, it comes down to rarity in demand. There weren't many of these errors produced, which makes them extremely rare. When you combine rarity with high demand from collectors, the price shoots up. In fact, collectors are willing to pay big bucks to get their hands on this particular error coin. Back in 2018, one of these pennies sold for a staggering $18,800 at auction. And more recently, the market has seen prices as high as $62,400 for a top-graded specimen. Now, if you think you found a 1984 double-ear penny, don't rush to sell it just yet. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A penny in pristine condition, known as mint state, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars, while one with wear and tear might only bring in a few hundred or thousand. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A grade of MS 65 or higher is what collectors and investors are really looking for. If your penny has been graded at this level, congratulations, you've got a coin that could easily be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So, what is the current market value of this penny? As of now, top-quality 1984 double-ear pennies are fetching up to $62,400 at auction, especially if they're in mint condition. However, even in lesser conditions, these coins can still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Like all collectibles, coin values fluctuate with the market, so it's a good idea to follow auction results and consult with a professional numismatist before selling. Remember, rarity and condition are the two biggest factors driving the price. Now, let's say you found the 1984 penny with the doubled ear, and you're ready to cash in. What's the best way to sell it? Well, first things first, get it graded by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will authenticate the coin and give potential buyers confidence in its quality. Once your coin is graded, you can either list it for sale online through platforms like eBay or Heritage Auctions, or take it to a reputable coin dealer. Auctions are a great option because they often attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. So there you have it. The 1984 Lincoln penny, a humble coin that could be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. If you have a jar of pennies sitting around at home, now's the time to start sifting through them. You never know, you might be holding on to a $62,000 treasure. Video, we're going to dive deep into this 2001 D Mint Mark penny, why some of them are worth so much, and what makes them stand out from the millions of other pennies out there. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot these valuable coins and how much they could fetch in today's market. Let's start with the basics. The 2001 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the front of the coin. Over 5 billion pennies were produced at the Denver Mint in 2001. That's a staggering number, and at face value, these pennies are worth just 1 cent. So, why would anyone pay thousands of dollars for one? Well, not every penny is created equal, and that's where things get interesting. Certain factors, such as rarity, condition, and specific errors, can make some coins extremely valuable. In the case of the 2001 D penny, one thing in particular makes it special: errors. The reason why some 2001 D pennies are worth so much is because of minting errors. These errors occur when the coins are struck incorrectly at the mint. It might be a double strike, off-center strike, die crack, or even a missing part of the design. Some of these errors can make the coin extremely rare, which drives up its value in the collector's market. One of the most sought-after errors for the 2001 D penny is a die crack. This happens when the die used to stamp the penny develops a crack, leading to a raised line on the surface of the coin. Coins with noticeable die cracks, especially large or prominent ones, can be incredibly valuable. Another valuable error is the off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly centered on the penny. The more off-center it is, while still showing a full date and mint mark, the higher the value. And finally, double die errors, where parts of the design, such as Lincoln's profile or the lettering, appear doubled, can also fetch a high price. These errors make the coin stand out, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rare mistakes. So, how does a penny go from being worth just 1 cent to $42,400? That was the case with a 2001 D Lincoln penny that recently sold at auction for that incredible price. This specific penny was in immaculate condition and featured a rare and desirable error. It was graded as a near-perfect coin by professional coin grading services, which significantly boosted its value. Coin grading is essential in determining a coin's value. This particular 2001 D penny was graded as MS 69, just 1 point shy of the perfect MS 70 grade, making it one of the finest known examples of this coin. When you combine that high grade with a rare error, you get a recipe for a record-breaking auction price. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, could I have one of these valuable pennies in my own change? The answer is yes. It's entirely possible. But, how do you spot these valuable coins? Here are the steps to find out if you have a rare 2001 D penny that could be worth big bucks. Remember, professional grading can help determine the true worth of your coin, and a mint condition coin could potentially be worth thousands of dollars, just like the one that sold for $42,400. Now, you might be wondering, what's the current market value for a 2001 D Lincoln penny today? While most 2001 D pennies are only worth their face value of 1 cent, coins with significant minting errors or those in pristine condition can sell for anywhere between $50 to $500. The most extraordinary examples, like the one that sold for $42,400, are extremely rare, but they do exist. Coin collecting has become more popular over the years, and demand for rare error coins continues to grow. So, who knows? You might just have a hidden gem in your collection waiting to be discovered. Video: we're diving deep into the world of coin collecting to explore the incredible value of the 1988 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. What makes this little copper coin worth a jaw-dropping $56,400 on today's market? Stay tuned to find out. Before we get into the insane value of this coin, let's talk a little about its history. The Lincoln penny, or Lincoln cent, has been a mainstay in U.S. currency since 1909 when it was first introduced to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse featured 2 wheat stalks until 1959 when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. Now, the 1988 penny may not seem like anything special at first glance, but that D mint mark, that tiny little letter right under the date, signifies that it was minted in Denver. While billions of pennies were produced that year, only a small number ended up having a certain error that turned them into collectors' treasures. So, what makes this coin so valuable? The key lies in a very specific and rare minting error. Coin enthusiasts refer to this as a transitional error. Let's break that down. In 1989, the U.S. Mint changed the design on Lincoln pennies slightly, particularly on the obverse where Lincoln's bust appears, but here's the catch: a small number of 1988 pennies from the Denver Mint actually feature the reverse design that was supposed to be used for 1989. Essentially, a 1989 reverse die was accidentally used on these 1988 D pennies. This unique error is what skyrockets the value of this coin. Now, you're probably wondering, how can you tell if the 1988 D penny you have is one of these valuable error coins? Here's what you need to look for. First, make sure it has the D Mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Denver Mint. The second, and perhaps the most crucial feature, is the designer's initials, FG, on the reverse side. This stands for Frank Gasparo, the designer of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. On the error coin, these initials are positioned differently than on a standard 1988 penny. If the initials are too far to the right and closer to the memorial, you could be looking at the rare error coin. Make sure to examine it carefully. You may even need a jeweler's loupe or a high-quality magnifying glass to spot this. Now let's get to the part everyone's waiting for: how much is this coin actually worth? The current record for a 1988 D Lincoln penny with this transitional error is a staggering $56,400 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. This is a perfect example of how a tiny error can lead to a big payday in the world of coin collecting. But remember, the value of a coin can depend on its condition. Collectors refer to this as the coin's grade. If your penny is in mint state, meaning it's uncirculated and has no wear and tear, that's when the real big money comes into play. Even if your 1988 D penny is not in perfect condition, but still contains the error, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its grade. Wondering how you can get your coin officially graded to find out its true value? The best way to do this is by sending it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These companies will examine your coin and give it an official grade, which is crucial if you're looking to sell it at auction or to a serious collector. Grading can cost anywhere from $20 to $100 depending on the service, but it's well worth it if your coin has the potential to bring in tens of thousands of dollars. While the 1988 D penny is a star, it's not the only Lincoln cent you should be looking for in your change jar. Other rare and valuable Lincoln pennies include: 1. The 1943 steel penny. During World War II, the U.S. Mint produced pennies out of steel due to copper shortages. Some copper pennies from that year still exist and can be worth over $100,000.20. The 1955 double die penny. This penny features a noticeable doubling of the date and lettering on the front, and it can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. 3. The 1969 S double die. Another famous error coin, with doubling of the date and lettering, often bringing in big bucks at auction. So, don't just look at your 1988 D penny, there could be a fortune waiting in your spare change. Before we wrap up, I've got a few quick tips for those of you getting into coin collecting. Some of the most valuable coins are still in circulation, so don't overlook any penny, quarter, or dime you come across. Get yourself a quality magnifying glass, a coin book, and coin holders to keep your finds in great condition. The more you know about coins, the better you'll be at spotting valuable ones. Websites, forums, and books on numismatics are great places to start. Who knew that a tiny, unassuming penny could be worth so much? If you've got a 1988 D Lincoln penny, it's time to give it a closer look. You could be sitting on a goldmine. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible coin discoveries. And, of course, let us know in the comments if you found any rare coins in your collection. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting.